James Allen's book, As a Man Thinketh, is known as one of the most foundational books in self-improvement. And that is because this book stressed on one idea. An idea so important that if you implement it fully in your life will transform and become the ideal life you dream of. The fundamental idea of this book is that your life is literally shaped by your thoughts. James tells us that every thought you have is like a small seed you plant in your garden, and if you plant negative seeds in your mind, you will get negative results. But if you plant positive thoughts in your mind, you will get positive results. But one thing is for sure, your garden, whether you like it or not, will give you something. That's why it's your job to go inside your mind, make sure that the thoughts there are positive and aligned with the aim you have in your life, and remove the weed-like thoughts that will not help you. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 main lessons that I got from this book. Number 1, effect of thought on circumstances. James gives us an example of 3 people to show us that no matter what situation you are in life, your thoughts are responsible for it. The first is a very poor man. He is extremely anxious and wants to improve his surroundings and his life. And yet all the time he complains about his work and feels justified to lie to his boss in order to get a higher salary. This man does not realize that not only will he never be able to get out of his situation by having such a negative attitude, he is actually digging himself a deeper hole. The second is a very rich man. He has a very painful disease and he will pay large sums of money to get rid of it, but he will not give up his desire for unhealthy food. He's not even willing to give up his thoughts that lead him to eat unhealthy food, and therefore he will never be able to cure his disease no matter how much money he has. The third example is that of a businessman. He does not pay his employees fair wages and does nothing to make sure that they are happy, safe and secure. When his business eventually goes bankrupt and he's not able to find anyone to work for him, he blames the economy and other external factors. But what he does not realize is that he himself had caused all the problems. James Allen tells us that our situation does not make us, it only reveals us. A lot of people believe that because they're going through a tough time, they have the license to act badly. People think, oh, it's okay if I smoke now because I'm under a lot of stress at work. Or it's okay to watch a movie all day and waste your time because everyone's in lockdown anyway. Always remember this, your situations only reveal your true character. If your character is being very lazy, then in a tough situation, you will become lazy. However, if you're mentally strong on the inside, then whenever you face a tough situation, you will shine. If you ever want to improve your situation, always ask yourself this question first. How can I improve my thoughts? Do you always think about how you wish you were smarter, or you wish that you were just a little bit luckier, etc.? Well, these are the thoughts that will keep you in the same situation. But if you start thinking about how every morning you're going to be grateful for what you have, and you're going to do everything you can to purify your thoughts and actions, then you will be able to handle any problem you face. Number 2, thought and purpose. According to James Allen, until thought is linked to a higher purpose, you will never be able to achieve any big accomplishment. To explain this, let me give you an example. Let's say there's a girl who wants to get into the Olympics, but she doesn't really have a strong purpose. She tries to keep positive thoughts and works out very hard. But every time a small problem comes, she gets disappointed. In spite of working very hard, when she doesn't get selected for the Olympic team, she gets very sad and finds it hard to keep going. On the other hand, there's another girl who also wants to get into the Olympics, but she has a higher purpose of making her country proud. Whenever she faces any problem, all she's able to think about is her purpose, and she keeps going. If she doesn't get selected in her first attempt, she keeps going because she has her higher purpose in mind. Even if she never gets selected, she will still find a way to make her country proud because that was her purpose. Any amount of positive thoughts will not result in anything unless you channel that towards a purpose. But what if you can't find your purpose and it feels like it's too big of a question to ask yourself? Well, in that case, James Allen tells us to do our work as best as we can. Whatever work you have in front of you, whether it's studying or working with boring Excel sheets, do it to the best of your ability. This way you will be able to focus your thoughts towards a useful goal. But what if you feel it's just too hard to keep your thoughts clean and positive all the time? That's okay. Just like when someone is physically weak, it takes time for them to become strong, it's the same thing with your mind. But through practice over time, you can change how you think, and that will change your actions, which will change your life. Number three, thought factor in achievement. James Allen tells us that before a man can achieve anything, he must give up his slavish animal desires. He may not have to give up all of it, but at least some of it to achieve any results. If a man wants to start a business because he thinks that he can drive big cars and go to parties and meet girls, etc., such a man will never be able to think clear enough to create a business anyway. It's only when you put your animal desires aside and keep your purpose in mind that you will have the clarity of thought to do the things you need to do. It can also happen that a person can achieve a lot of success in this world and even in the spiritual world, but fall prey again to animal thoughts and selfish desires, and then descend back down again and lose everything they built. So even after you achieve what you want, you always have to stay vigilant and monitor your thoughts. And remember, there is no achievement without sacrifice, and the most basic sacrifice that we all can make is to give up our confused animal desires. Number 4, visions and ideals. In my opinion, this is the most powerful point made in this book. James Allen tells us that dreamers save the world. Every big accomplishment of humanity always started out as someone's dream. Putting a man on the moon was once a dream until we made it a reality. Similarly, now Elon Musk dreams of putting humans on Mars. James Allen tells us to keep this vision alive in our hearts. He gives us an example of a poor boy who's working in a dirty workshop and has to work very long hours. But in his heart, he has a vision of one day becoming educated, living in a big house, and changing the world. As long as he keeps that vision alive, at some point the workshop will not be able to contain him, and he will move closer to his vision through his actions. The vision and ideal you have in your heart is the most precious thing you have, because one day this will become you. And point number 5 is serenity. Calmness of the mind is one of the main results of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient self-control. If you ever meet a monk, the first thing you will notice is how calmly they speak. The more you learn to give up your animal desires, the more calm you become, the more you achieve because of that calmness. Other people gravitate towards a calm person, and you can give strength to them and inspire them. Even an ordinary businessman will find that he's more successful when he's calm, because people will always prefer to deal with someone who's calm. So to summarize this book, your thoughts literally shape your life. Number 1, they affect your circumstance. Number 2, these thoughts will only result in something if you have a purpose. Number 3, to achieve anything, you have to give up your animal desires. Number 4, your vision is the most precious thing you have. And number 5, once you purify your thoughts, you will become calm, which will further help you in everything in life. If you like this summary, then I'm sure you'll also like my summary on Man's Search for Meaning, which you can watch by clicking right here. If you like the video, then please click the like button and subscribe for more self-improvement videos. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.